Going to march over to get our business done by getting Officer White fired. So DA Rosen has come down to accept the letters. I'd like to have Lori, who has a letter here, calling on the officers to be criminally charged and also for the video to be released. So Lori, go ahead and read the letter and give it to Jeff.
Attorney Jeff Rosen. On February 21st, 2014, Antonio Guzman Lopez was shot and killed by San Jose State police officers Mike Santos and Chris Vanderhook. He left behind myself, my daughter, Angela, who's 11, and his 5-year-old son, Josiah. We are writing to ask your office to file criminal charges on these officers. We also ask that the video footage and the body cameras worn by the two officers, that they be released immediately to us. It has been close to 10 months since his passing, and the officers must be held accountable. Respectfully, Lori.
Thank you, Lori. So we have two more letters that we're going to let DA Rosen process, but Richard, maybe do the next one. This is regarding Officer White.
Dear District Attorney Jeff Rosen, in light of Officer Philip White's remarks on social media, we ask that your office investigate arrests submitted by Officer White on police work that included Officer White. As his career spans 20 years, we ask that you start with a 2-year review of the last time he was working as a beat officer.
Yeah, we have one more letter too. We want to get Lamar over here with his letter. Okay, the third letter is that you drop charges of resisting arrest against Lamar Noble.
First of all, we haven't met before, Judge. It's a tragedy.
Speak up!
That's
I can't hear you, brother.
And it's a tragedy whenever someone is shot and killed, whether it's by the police or by anybody else. It's a tragedy. And we're looking very closely and carefully at the case. And I know that our office has met with you before, and you've asked us to look into some additional matters in the case, and we've done that. And we're looking forward to speaking with you. I know you wanted to give us a statement and some information, and we're going to do that later. But it looks like it was rescheduled your request for later, and we'll absolutely do that. And in terms of any of the information that we reviewed in making our decision, if that includes the video of the incident, we will release that at the time we make a decision as to whether or not to file charges against the officers. So I take very, very seriously my obligation as the district attorney. Personally review all cases where police officers shoot and kill someone, and I do that because someone is dead, and they have a mother and a father and a wife and so on.
Why did it take until now for you to offer condolences to me? You should know that nobody. Came to me, my children and my son cries every night. Nobody talks to see how my kids are doing. Nobody.
Listen, as you know, that we feel, and if we've had and we're waiting for the rest of the reports and we're doing the follow-up that you've asked us to do, people from my office have met with you. Every time someone is shot and killed by the police, when I make a decision as to whether or not to file charges, if I decide not to file charges, before I release that statement publicly, I always personally call every relative of that victim and explain my decision to them and give them a copy of that report before it's made public. Obviously, those are not very pleasant phone calls, but I think that it's my responsibility to do that because someone was killed by the police. So I take that very seriously, and I'm glad that we met today, and I'm certainly just like the condolences. How serious it is. This matter is I personally review all of it. There are 40,000 criminal cases a year, and anytime an officer shoots and kills someone, I personally review all of that.
When there's a small child involved, the psychological, emotional trauma they go through, the 10 months is kind of very cruel for my son and my daughter not to have closure. We've asked for simple questions to be responded like, but the medical team that showed up did they say anything to, was he crying for somebody? My daughter wanted to know if her Bobby was crying, that he died with a bunch of people that don't even love him and knew who he was. She needs to know those answers. And it's hard for me to understand. I hope you do your job with unbiased light, but you do it with the job, with your heart. Why you decided to become a prosecutor? Because police are not, yes, exactly. You're serving, you have every responsibility to protect Josiah. He's 5 years old. That child is scarred for life. You can't bring his dad back, and nobody can. This Christmas, while those officers are still working, making money, and living their life like nothing, my son's life is destroyed. Right. We're having a terrible time. Christmas is not going to be the same. And nobody's taking into consideration. When it comes to an officer acting out of fear, let it be known that's a danger for society. Because that fear comes from somewhere hidden that triggers that instinct to kill. It's a known fact. And I'm just saying, I hope to God my son does not become re-victimized over and over because the justice system is going to fail. I want to believe that it will protect him at all costs. He will not become statistic and end up in juvenile hall because he's angry and people think that, oh, this kid's a bad kid, not knowing what he's been through at a young age. That's your responsibility to protect my son, and I hope and pray that with every decency that you have inside of you, that you do what's right for Josiah, not for Mr. Rosen, not for Officer Fritz, but for my son, because he's young, he's innocent, and he doesn't know about hate, racism, and injustices. We're teaching him that. So I hope to God that we do get some resolution soon.
That's right.
I will. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jeff. So, all right, everybody. Look, before the cameraman takes the mic out of my hand.
Excuse me, come later.